19 years. That's how long we raised him, loved him, gave him everything we could. Then one sentence shattered it all. They're my people. And just like that, we were erased from his life and from his wedding. But if he thought we'd just stand by and watch, he had no idea what was coming. If you've ever felt the sting of betrayal after pouring your heart into someone, hit that like button. Subscribe if you believe karma has a way of finding people. Because today's story is about the coldest wedding payback you'll ever hear. It was supposed to be a simple drive home from a small vacation. The road stretched for miles, nothing but grass, hills, and the hum of our car engine. Then we saw him, a tiny boy sitting alone by the roadside. No buildings, no cars, no one else for miles. We pulled over. As we approached, my stomach sank. He was filthy, wearing nothing but a sagging diaper. His skin was tight against his bones. He looked about 3 years old. Later, we learned he was 5. We asked, "Why are you here alone?" And in the smallest voice, he said, "Mommy and Daddy told me to wait here." There was no cell signal, so we drove him straight to the police station. That day, we learned the truth. His parents were drug addicts on the run from felony charges. His grandmother, his only other relative, was mentally unfit to care for him. Jason, that's the name I'll use, was put in foster care. But I couldn't get him out of my mind. My husband and I talked for weeks. I had a high-paying job. We could give him stability, safety, love. Months later, after paperwork, interviews, and bureaucracy, Jason was ours. For almost 19 years, we were his parents in every way that mattered. We celebrated birthdays, scraped knees, heartbreaks, and graduations. We loved him as fiercely as if he had been born to us. Then, 3 years ago, his birth parents were released on parole. At first, they sent occasional letter. Then, they reached out for a meeting. I was nervous, maybe even jealous, but I supported him. He wanted to see them, so I swallowed my fears. It started small. Lunches, phone calls. Then the excuses began. He canceled dinners with us because Mom had an emergency, or Dad needed help with something. Weekly visits became monthly. Daily calls became silence. When he invited us to dinner with them, I was hesitant. These were the same people who had left him for dead on the side of a road. But he was our son. We had to try. That night was a nightmare. His birth mother threw passive-aggressive insults like daggers, homophobic jabs at me and my husband, racist remarks about our family. His father wasn't much better. Then she called us the F word and hurled a glass at my husband. We left. Jason apologized the next day, swearing it would never happen again. I told him I wanted nothing to do with them. He seemed to understand, but the distance between us only grew. Months later, Jason got engaged. We were thrilled, or at least we were, until the invitations went out. When we asked, he mumbled excuses about delays. But then my husband saw a photo on Twitter. We didn't get one. Jason's groomsman holding his invitation. We confronted him. That's when he dropped it. "You're not invited. My parents said they won't come if you do." I felt my blood boil. "You're choosing them over us? After everything?" His answer? "They understand me better. They're my people." My husband's eyes filled with tears. 19 years erased in one sentence. That was the moment I broke. I told him to leave and never come back. The next morning, I logged into every wedding vendor account, the ones we had set up, the ones we had paid for, catering, venue, photography, flowers, music, all of it, canceled. Some deposits we couldn't get back. I didn't care. I'd rather burn the money than fund a celebration I wasn't welcome at. When Jason called, screaming about how I'd ruined his wedding, I said, "Maybe you should ask those 2 leeches you call parents for help." And just like that, the wedding he had planned for months was in shambles. His birth parents, the ones he had chosen over us, would have to come to the rescue if they could. He went from smug and self-assured to desperate in seconds. I didn't feel joy. Not exactly. But I felt closure. They say parents should love unconditionally. Maybe that's true. But love isn't a license for betrayal. We gave him everything, and he threw it away. Sometimes, walking away is the only way to protect yourself. If this story hit you in the heart, smash that like button. And tell me in the comments, would you have done the same? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma doesn't just knock, it kicks the door down.